Never let anybody see you sweat.
So I was born in New York City, and I lived there until I was 8 years old. I realized that I was a much better talker than I was a listener.
I don't know what to say, I just don't like what you're saying.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I ended up going to law school at Georgetown, and I was a prosecutor for Janet Reno. I loved it because it was so raw.
Were you cheating on her?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All rise.
Our show will be a mixture of education, I think you're misreading the law a little bit, and entertainment. My main goal is justice and the law. That's been my legacy, and the legacy I hope to continue into the future with the show.
Emilio Cano claims he was late to work, then lost his job after his rideshare driver left him stranded on the side of the road. Ellen Thompson says the plaintiff smelled like weed, so he kicked him out of his car.
All right, Mr. Cano, you are suing Mr. Thompson for $815.15 because, according to you, his abusive behavior caused you to be fired. Tell me what happened.
That is correct, Your Honor. I am suing Mr. Alan Thompson here because he was the one that accepted my rideshare service when I requested a rideshare to go to work, as I do every day. I work 5 days a week. I work in the medical field. I work at a dispensary, Your Honor. So I was on my way to work as I normally am.
What kind of dispensary?
Marijuana dispensary,
okay.
A cannabis
right.
dispensary.
Tell me what happened. You get in the car and what?
So I get in the car, as I do. I mind my own business. I'm sitting in the back calmly as ever. I have my headphones in. I'm in my own world. I'm not bothering anybody. Gentleman starts coughing. I worry for his safety. I thought maybe he was coming down with some COVID or something. I'm worried about him. He starts yelling.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're worried about his safety. If he's come down with COVID, why aren't you worried about your safety? But go ahead.
He's the one driving. My life is in his hands, Your Honor.
Yeah,
so
exactly. I've been worried about your safety. Plus,
right.
If he has COVID and he's coughing, you're gonna get it.
I did not test positive for COVID.
Excuse me, sir, Mr. Thompson. I'll be with you in a minute. So you're worried about his safety and what? What happens?
So he starts getting rowdy with me the moment I ask him if he's okay. He starts yelling at me. I'm thinking he's just having a bad day.
I'm sorry, stop. What does he yell to you?
He starts yelling obscenities, saying that I am causing him to be, I'm the reason why he's coughing, when, again, I have done nothing but sit in the backseat. I have my music in. I can't understand what he's saying because he's yelling so loud. Now, like you said, I'm worried about my safety because we're on the freeway.
What's the guy saying to you? Exactly. I need the actual facts. What is the guy saying to you?
He is saying that because I am in his car contaminating him, he says that I smell like weed.
Because he says you smell.
He says I smell like weed.
Okay,
Again,
so
Your
he
Honor,
tells you smell like weed and it's so potent, it's choking me.
Yes.
And you say to him what?
I say to him that I am sorry, that I'm just on my way to work. I'm wearing the sweater that I always wear. He says he's accusing me of being under the influence. Again, Your Honor.
Did you explain to him where you worked and where you were asking him to drop you off, that it was a dispensary?
Yes, I explained to him. He has the location of where I'm asking to go.
Yeah, but he may just have an address. He doesn't know what business is there. Did you tell him that, or you didn't tell him that?
No, I did not get the chance to tell him that, Your Honor.
Okay, so what happens? He's telling you that you're endangering his health, and what does he say? He
starts yelling to me that he served in the military, that he has some type of lung issue, and that I am putting him in danger when, again, I have done nothing but sit in the back of the car. So
it's bothering him, and then he says he has a lung issue, and what did you say?
I said, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm just trying to get to work. If we could just continue to drive. However, we're on the freeway, mind you, Your Honor, and now all of a sudden he has one hand on the wheel. He's looking back at me, yelling, and he's making drastic merges all the way onto the right because he's trying to exit the freeway, telling me that he's going to kick me off. Your Honor, we're driving close to the canyon. I mean, where am I supposed to go? I have no cell service at that point. If I could call somebody, if I had cell service, I would call somebody else. I would try to request another ride. I cannot do that because we're driving through the mountains, Your Honor. I have no service on my cell phone.
There's a lot of traffic, though, right?
There were other vehicles, but it's not safe for a pedestrian to be walking alongside the side of the freeway.
What happened?
Well, I've been driving for about 4 years now. I drive 3 to 4 days a week. This gentleman, he gets into my vehicle and he smells very, very heavily of marijuana smoke. And just to qualify that, as he mentioned, I am a veteran, and during my tours of duty in Iraq and Afghanistan, I did inhale quite a bit of dust, and I have substantial lung damage. So Yes, as he mentioned, I do have some sensitivity to that, and I tried to roll down the windows. He protested, and
He protested when you tried to roll down the windows?
that's correct.
What did he say?
He said he was cold. He wouldn't
Is that
let me roll down
accurate?
the windows.
Your Honor,
Is that accurate?
Yes, it
Okay,
was.
go
It was
on.
cold.
And the smell was so overwhelming, I asked him if he had consumed marijuana products, and he did not give me a straight answer. I asked him if he had any drugs on his person. He did not give me a straight answer, and I concluded that I was in danger.
Okay, but where'd you leave him?
I got off at the next reasonable place I could find. It was in front of a store.
Coming up on Justice for the People.
What'd you do?
I started walking down the road. I tried to reach a place where I had cell service where I could
How long
find
did it take you to have cell service?
About 30 minutes. I kept
Instead of
walking.
just going in the store and using the telephone there?
And later,
The last 3 years have been really bad because he has his dog and it's making noise any time of the day or night.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Emilio Cano, who blames rideshare driver Alan Thompson for causing him to get fired.
So you dropped him off in front of a store?
It was a grocery store, gas station.
Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so why couldn't you go in there and call for a ride or something from in there?
At the moment, I didn't see anybody walk in and out of that store. I'm worried about getting to work. That's my main concern, Your Honor.
Well-
I'm on my third. That would have been my third strike at work.
Right, so that's why. So let's talk about your worry about getting to work. So you had 2 other strikes which happened because you got to work late. And what were your reasons those times?
Your Honor, we live in LA. Traffic is unpredictable. I
Okay.
live very far from my job.
I
so
think the theory is that you live in LA. That's always going to be a boss's theory. Okay, you live in LA, and you know that it's going to be, so you just leave earlier. In other words, the tardiness should be on your free time and not on the company's time. That's usually their premise. So you didn't call your office from your employer from that place. What'd you do?
I started walking down the road. I tried to reach a place where I had cell service where I could
How long
find
did it take you to have cell service?
About 30 minutes down.
Instead of just going in the store and using the telephone there and explaining your situation?
Again, my biggest concern was me trying to keep my job, which I no longer have, by the way.
Right,
which
that's
is
why you
part of
go in there and you call and you explain, an Uber driver just dropped me off because I reek of your product from your place and he was crazy. You know, whatever, you're going to tell him, you try. If that had happened, instead what ended up happening? You showed up at work how late?
About an hour, 45 minutes late.
Without having called.
Yes,
And you got fired.
I did.
But that's his fault.
Your Honor, I'm not. The other 2 strikes were unrelated. I was on my 3rd strike. People can change. I
just don't understand why you wouldn't call them and let them know what happened, because that's why you got fired. You didn't get fired just because you were 2 hours late for work. You got fired because you didn't let anybody know what happened. And you described him. I thought he left you on the side of the road, which would be really bad.
It was the side of the road.
Well, no, it was in front of a store. He got off the highway and left you off in front of a store. And then it didn't occur to you to go in there and use, what is it? You folks just don't know that landlines exist, and even in a store?
He dropped me off at a place that I'm not familiar with. I'm not just going to go into one of these shabby-looking stores.
Why not? Because instead you're going to walk 30 minutes and lose your job? How did you end up getting to work at all?
I ended up obtaining service, and I had to request another rideshare service. But
Okay, when you got service, did it occur to you to call your employer?
Yes.
Did you?
No, I was afraid of the consequence. Your Honor.
Okay, well then, what do you think? We call that in Spanish tapando el sol con un dedo, covering the sun with one finger. Like all of a sudden the sun's not there because I'm doing this. The consequence is going to happen anyway. It might not happen if you actually face the music. Does anybody here have the rules for your particular ride share regarding when, how, and if a driver fears for his safety or well-being or whatever and can drop a customer off?
My understanding is that my right as an American is to refuse service to anyone as I see fit. As an independent contractor, that is my right as an American who's served my country.
I appreciate your service and thank you for your service, but
Our rights as Americans don't depend on whether we served our country.
I understand that.
Number two, you do not have an absolute right to refuse service for anybody you want. If you do it for an unconstitutional reason, they can have a lawsuit against you. So what you said is not unqualified. However, having said that, if you have a respiratory problem and someone reeks of weed and you're coughing and then they're lipping you about whether you can open the windows and get circulation, I happen to personally believe that you have the right to pull over and drop them off.
That is exactly the case.
But what I'm asking was a different question, which is, does your rideshare, see, he has an app that has your rideshare, so I have to imagine that your rideshare has rules. You know when we're downloading an app and it says, you must check this box, and none of us read anything? We just check the box, right? That's what I'm talking about. Do you happen to have with you, I presume the answer is no. You're not a lawyer. You don't know that.
I do not. I have signed so many documents.
Yeah. No, well, I don't know why you're going like that. Do you have it with you?
No, I don't, Your Honor. But
okay. Yeah, I'm going to tell you that there is no way it's not in there that if he feels unsafe, he can't drop you off. He didn't drop you off because he doesn't like you or the color of your skin or the tone of your voice or your accent. He dropped you off because it was making him ill, and you weren't being clear with him why. He thought you were carrying, and he just didn't want it around him, and he pulled over and dropped you off.
That's 100%
and then you didn't
accurate.
have the common sense that God gave a billy goat to walk in the store and call your employer and explain what had just happened, which might have saved your job. So here's the thing. I'm not going to order him to pay you $815.15. By the way, how do you even come up with that figure so precise?
Because that is the weekly paycheck. It's a set pay that I have.
All right.
And then
so I'm not going to order him to pay. I'm not going to order him to pay you because you lost your job because of you, not because of him. That's my verdict.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
I don't have a racist bone in my body. I just want you to know that that has absolutely nothing to do with your ethnicity.
I think you're in the wrong service if you can't provide customer service.
Excuse me? What did you
You've
say?
had your day in court.
Coming up,
How many times has he complained to you about your dog barking?
Over the 3 years, I would say at least 10.
So you got a problem with a neighbor who your dog is disturbing.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. Albert Merrick claims he put his sister's family up in a hotel after his neighbor's barking dog kept them up all night during their visit. Wendell Collins says no one complained at the time, so he doesn't owe anything.
Okay, Mr. Merrick, you are suing Mr. Collins, your neighbor, for $1,365 because according to you, you had to house some guests in a hotel because his dog kept barking.
Exactly.
What happened?
We're neighbors. He lives below me. That's been now for 3 years, and he has this dog.
Okay, this is a condo?
Yeah.
So you own yours, he owned his, or you rent?
I do own my own place.
Are you renting?
I own as well, Your Honor.
You do own, okay.
Yeah, and the last 3 years have been really bad because he has his dog and it's making noise.
So what measures have you taken to talk to him about it or talk to the homeowners association?
I've tried everything, you know.
Such as?
Such as, you know, 2 years ago I was still able to bang on the wall and there would be peace, you know.
Okay. Have you talked to the homeowners association?
Yes, I did.
And what did they do? Because usually they'll get involved in this kind of thing.
Absolutely, but there's no effect if it doesn't appear, you know, what can we do?
Did the homeowners association talk to you about this, Mr. Collins?
No, ma'am. He's exaggerating that, just as I said.
Okay, you've never received anything from them saying that there are complaints about your dog?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, it sounds like your homeowners association isn't doing their job. Did you ever call the police about the unlawful noise violation of a chronically barking dog?
Yeah, but they just don't seem to care about it.
Coming up,
What measures have you taken to solve the problem?
You know, I'm training my dog best I can.
Yeah, it's been 3 years, and the dog is barking during the day.
you're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian. We're back with the case of Albert Merrick, who brought Wendell Collins to court over his barking dog.
What happened is you ended up paying $1,300 for a hotel for your guests because they were perturbed over the dog barking. And I want to know what measures you took before doing that. because you should have been able to take some measures that would either stop the dog from barking or remove the dog before you ended up having to send people to a hotel, which was kind of drastic, and then expect him to pay. So who are these people anyway?
Very close ones. My sister, Your Honor, and her husband, and they are a family. They have a baby, which is 8 months old.
Okay.
But this is not the best promotion I'm getting from him and his dog.
How much were they paying you to stay there? Or was it loosey-goosey and you didn't discuss that?
No, we do discuss such matters, and she intended to stay 2 weeks, and that would be. I just told her to give me something between $500 or $1,000. She's my sister, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Did she end up giving you anything or no?
She gave me $500.
All right. And then she stayed there how long before she said, I can't take the dog?
She stayed there for a week, and then she was forced out to move into a hotel.
Did she call the police?
No, but
Did
I
you
had
call the
contact-
homeowners association?
In that case, no.
Okay. Did you call the defendant?
I tried to call him.
Okay, I don't know what that means. Did you try to call him, he didn't answer? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, and then you texted him, and did he answer your text?
Yes, he did.
Let me see the text.
Sure.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Where were you while this was going on?
I was at work, Your Honor.
Hey, the family I had renting out my place said they had to leave due to the noise. Oh, so you don't text them until after they've left?
Judge Milian's verdict when justice for the people returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated Justice for the People with Judge Milian.
How many times has he complained to you about your dog barking?
Over the 3 years, I would say at least 10.
Yeah, so you got a problem.
I can imagine it can get annoying, but he's definitely
Do
exaggerating.
you have an audio recording of...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I do.
Okay, let me
Want
hear
to
it.
hear. All right.
Oh, you think that's disturbing the peace of the other person?
Well, she's a dog, she barks, but
I
not
don't care. See,
constantly.
you're entitled to have a dog unless your dog is a nuisance to other people. So here's the situation. He thinks you should pay for the hotel for whoever, and what say you to that?
That's ridiculous. That would mean that anytime he decides to do something and someone complains that now I owe him money.
Yeah. So there is no excuse for whoever's living there not going downstairs, knocking on the door and talking to them, or calling the police, or calling the homeowners association, or doing something before spending $1,400 on a hotel. Is it foreseeable that he would know that the dog barking that day was going to cause you to spend $1,400? I find that the answer to that is no, and I'm ruling in favor of the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Milian has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim is denied.
Thankful that the judge saw it my way, and I thought it was ridiculous that he expected me to pay for his expenses.
This is outrageous. I have no words for this.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.